welcome. This is Dynasty the Show, and I am your host, Ira Bush. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate, those who, have been supporting this whole time. Today I woke up pretty, in a good mood, good spirits. You know how I go today. We got practice. Basketball is in. The players that's preparing for the next season. The high schoolers that's preparing. Hopefully, y'all going to y'all. Y'all already started y'all workouts for the off season, and y'all being consistent about going to those. So those make sure this is where you learn how to basically win games in those third and fourth quarters. When you getting better, you getting stronger, and you going to another level. Your athletic ability has it's reaching a certain status or rank, and you make sure you compete with your teammates in the most positive way. So the only way you're gonna become a leader if you show up. So make sure y'all showing up, and y'all make sure y'all doing y'all job. Well, today's been, it's a chill day. It's Wednesday. It's like I could say, my birthday's in a week away. It's Gemini season. Hopefully everybody enjoying this summer, even if you're an adult and you gotta work. Hopefully you getting the vibration of the sun, and you enjoying your evenings with your children if you have a family, or you stepping out if you're single, and you enjoying that especially if you're in Florida, enjoying that beach and that nightlife, and you're enjoying the breeze that come with it. So I haven't really stepped out too much. I think I stepped out last week in the middle of the week, something like that. But I might wait. I'm probably gonna wait till next Wednesday when my birthday is officially here. And I don't know, I might go visit some family members this weekend, hopefully, or pop up on them on my birthday, because I actually enjoy just being around family. So I might just go pop in, just say, hey, like, it's my birthday. I just want to see y'all. This is one of the gifts that I want, something like that. Because I enjoy actually doing that. It's not a big deal. I get to go see my grandma or some light, or my grandfather, and do something like that. That's enjoying to me. That's where I had the most fun, was when around family or run into an old friend or something, hopefully, and keep it like that. That's pretty much it. We're gonna get today's episode is called Upside Up. So it's basically like a play on words, when people say upside down, meaning like, they flip your, but I feel like the upside is up. So the people that have been deemed not the best, had to wait, whatever, it's time to rise, it's time to stay in position. Like, I get these news feeds on my YouTube channel, which is pretty, I don't, my For You pages be pretty high rate. I don't look for nothing no more. I used to be very more active into like trying to give people their props, and look, I just, whatever they put on the feed, if it's stupid stuff, I don't watch. But they doing a better job of putting my For You page, my YouTube news For You page. I get updates on real politics now. I get updates on what's going on in the NFL, and the main people that the new people. It's I get pretty much up to date on all that stuff. So NBA's is coming down to an end. We got Game 3 tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit more about it towards it. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show. So hopefully y'all stay in tune, because I do not talk sports until the end of the show. That's just how I'm gonna do it, unless it's that important. The NBA got mentioned early, but I'm not breaking it down to the end. So I don't feel like, if you know me personally, you probably get a lot of sports and music talk. But if you're doing this as something that I feel like is the most important thing at the time, like I was talking about yesterday, we're gonna update y'all. I went out to it was a pretty big deal what happened yesterday. I don't care how big of a deal Broward County School made it. It was a big deal to me. I went there. I tried to go speak on the Policy 1000. They took that off the agenda. I have to literally go, take my energy and time from a completely different county. I'm not with the mother or the person who birthed my child. So that ship has sailed 8, 9 years ago. So I don't claim nothing over there. I don't claim her residence. I don't claim nobody over there but my child. So that's really the gist of it. And make sure I have to stay in high alignment with the services of the school board and the community over there. Is school, if she goes to put her in summer camp, which I'm not unsure if she believes in that. I do, but hopefully my child is active. And I can't, talk too much personal on there, but I'm being as honest as possible. I'm not mad at nobody, and like I said, my energy and vibration is high. My child she know her father care about her. She knows that her grandmother care about her, and her whole family on this side care about her. And we don't want nothing but greatness out of her and success. So everybody else over there that, on her coattail, yeah, make sure y'all doing proper things over there, because we don't want to get ugly. That's not a threat. That's what it is, and that's why we talking about this school board situation that happened last year. The disrespect will has probably stopped, but we're gonna make sure it get addressed. I had to talk to the people in that committee to think that it's gonna get put under a rug. It's not. It's gonna get put in broad daylight. Y'all brought Channel 10 News out there. Y'all should have made it a bigger deal. Y'all should have corrected yourselves, and y'all didn't. So we're gonna have to go the next one that's in July or August, whenever they decide, because the person came up to me before us. He knew I was there. He was the only one that was available in the previous meeting that I went to, and they didn't. And this was, and the meeting was literally about changing the security and the rules. So I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time to even talk. So that the agenda was on the second thing on the agenda for that meeting was literally the same thing. And they were trying to put a positive spin on it, which my child is rated as the highest fifth grade in that school at Markingham Elementary in Pompano. If she not number one, she was rated number one, fourth or third grade. Well, actually, she was rated at number one in third grade and fourth grade class. I don't know if she obtained. I know she's top. First grade, she was when it was in COVID. Well, she was in the top 3, top 5 every year. I don't know what they want me to say. I know she made the number one fourth grade. So third grade, fourth grade, one of those years, and she probably was rated in the top, definitely in the top 5 this year. She didn't have no high level testing to do. The past fifth grade, they don't do testing, they do science. So she never ranked low in that. We are science. They feel like we're supposed to be like we don't know who we are. My child is one of the highest rated beings in this planet in my eyes. So that's what most parents should feel. But it's actually DNA, genetics say that's what it is, and we're gonna keep it like that and make sure she get treated that way. And that's all. That's the only reason why I'm showing up. That's the reason why I'm showing up, and that's what's gonna continue to happen. I'm gonna keep showing up. Now, let's not make it personal. We're gonna move on. That was just the update from yesterday. I didn't. If you want to listen to what actually happened, bar for bar, word for word, listen to my previous episode 30 on Dynasty the Podcast Show. And we're gonna move on. Let's continue today. We're gonna go right into. I didn't really watch. Like I'm watching it live, like y'all finna watch it. It happened last week, literally 7 days ago. So we're gonna go pull up the Secretary of Education's testimony that she did last week, and we're gonna dissect it and continue to break it down. These are her words, and she has to stand on what she said and all the agreeing she did with these people that were asking questions. All these people she's supposed to get back to. She has had 7 days to actually make meetings, go in and talk to these people about the education system for the whole entire 50 states in the United States of America. So if she's not properly doing these things correctly, they're going to continue to put her feet to the fire and make sure she's doing the proper things, which I don't think she's properly doing, because they got this whole unit of where like they think the white supremacy is supposed to be, yeah, this is good that I say and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. No, it's incorrect. Everybody don't look white, and everybody is, the percentage is not minority no more. The black and brown students are not the lower ranked people. These are the higher ranked people. These are the people that's supposed to be taken care of. These are the people whose parents work every day, who pay their taxes every day. So you have to get with the program of the new generation, the new wave that's happening. You don't do what we tell you to do. You need to get out of that position and find another country to live in, because that's not what's going on this time. It's not going on this time. I'm sorry. And we're being very nice. I'm being very nice about it by just speaking on these things and not being aggressive and not being, out here with like, going to collect, we ain't going in that route. If you go that route, then we're gonna have a war in America, just like these third one, just like Ukraine and Russia is going through war. We don't want that on this land. We're trying to be very peaceful about y'all being very stupid about how y'all handling it. You cannot mentally manipulate people like me or my family or the people that's just like my family. So get with the program. So let's continue to watch this. Watch the secretary discuss. We're gonna just let her list. We're gonna listen to the back and forth, and we're gonna stop and give opinions. We're gonna do this for at least 30 minutes. Then we're gonna move on to breaking down. It's a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk about that at the end. That's politically talking. And we're gonna, I'm gonna mention that stuff that we're gonna be breaking down, because there's a lot going on, but it's not going over my head. Stuff going on in the troops that they put troops out there in California, like it's some kind of what y'all want to recreate the Rodney King situation with soldiers. I don't know. Like whatever going on, I'm gonna look into it. I don't understand why they putting American soldiers on the turf like they finna go out here and shoot people. I don't know what they thinking, trying to show strength. I don't know. So we're gonna look into that. Then they told Nancy Pelosi out here she don't look too well. I don't know what kind of energy she on, but they told her out here about the same, what's going on with that. I'm looking at it. It said LA crackdown, unlawful, whatever news they got going on. These people be used to hang together and drink alcohol and party together. They look the same to me. They was on the same side at one point with Trump and her, so I don't know where they took these people out. I don't really want to hear from her. But yeah, it's a new age, new wave. I'm putting it out there. So, let's continue with the real news. Patient students. I'm going to really mark that down and not take that as, I don't even know how you. This is how you know it's government. When I tell y'all about spiritual warfare and attacking is me. These people are trying to make. These people are mad because I'm not slow, or they are not able to possess what I'm saying, and they're not able to control my words. They're literally trying to say we need to teach people how to think. No, you're born, you observe, you're getting intel, you're getting information by what you see. You're getting intel and information from your own parents that you're around the other 16 hours, your own family and friends, you're around other 16 hours of the day, and they only got you there for 8, and you still around family and friends most of those 8 hours. So what are they trying to say? They don't tell nobody. That's why we got to look. If you a UN worker and you're listening and you're paying attention to what they're saying, make sure y'all understand that they make our children get shots. That they ain't telling us what's in these shots. And as a 6 months, when they coming out of the womb, when they going 2-year-olds going to pre-K, 5-year-olds going to kindergarten, 12-year-olds going to seventh grade, they make us get these shots. We don't know what these shots is. We don't want them shots no more. Now, if you get sick and you need to take a shot or whatever you do, that's across the world globe with the medication and medicine that they research. But these shots that we have to take just to go to school and we don't know what these shots is, make sure y'all doing y'all job and look into these stupid people that's over the education system that think they control people how they think. Now, I know that's the biggest part. Then you got food. The way they process food in America is not proper of some of these things. And they looked into that. They already got exposed. Hopefully they stand on top of that and they change it what they need to do. Now, that's another way you control the mind. Now, but I know for a fact them shots is what's supposed to be the biggest part of them controlling our minds, and it's not worked out for the chosen beings in the world, like especially in America. Like I'm trying to tell you, like I'm being very nice. I'm just putting information out their words. You can't make somebody teach somebody how to think. You could teach somebody how to read, write, science, whatever information out. That's not. You don't need to have the info. You don't need. We don't want artificial intelligence. I don't want artificial intelligence. I don't want nobody who not that smart to tell me what to do. No, it's not going down. So let's continue. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna let that just sit there for a little bit. Hopefully y'all paying attention and listening because I know the difference when somebody's on somebody's side. Everybody know the tone, and this lady literally probably is on her side, which is okay. They actually have brought some true points to how I feel. But what they said was they want the children to spend and the dollar to be cut more on the side towards the 70 percentile range. Because they said it's at 47 and the parents are making a decision on that money on that dollar. Okay, that sounds good, but it goes back to what I was saying. These people are already millionaires and this person is a billionaire. So their lenses is like, what are y'all trying to say? Like, y'all not even seeing what the real issue is. Y'all not really comprehending that y'all not even, y'all like this. Y'all, you know, when you ever seen somebody like you seen the NBA when somebody go to the rim and they dunk over the person? That's how they are over people who don't have the resources they have. That's what my whole issue is. Y'all not giving the resources to us. Y'all giving it to some one of your friends, one of your people that ain't got it that y'all don't want to share with. Y'all want the public to pay for y'all still. And I'm telling you, because I don't pull it up. I just pulled up yesterday how they treated me like an outsider. Like I told you the issue was when I went to the school. Like I didn't have no say so in what y'all over here the gifted. My child is gifted. They ain't got to test out. She already tested in. You know what I'm saying? A's and B's only. You know what I'm talking about? All of every last child in the family tree, A's and B's only. So what we testing for gifted for? And they put the gifted with the ESE now because the ESE never was slow. They just was manipulated mentally with these shots and these testings in the spirit. Like this is real. This is fact. This is known things in the government. Why are they playing around? They literally put that together in Broward. ESE and gifted are together, and they literally told me that they basically the same test. One got a little bit more higher with the numbers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I know this because, like I said, I have worked with ESC players, and I'm glad I didn't go fully into the signing up for being a teacher because I literally wrote that down. I know what I actually am. I already passed. I already got that paperwork done in 2011, so they can't say I'm not an official coach. I'm not stunning the government. I don't care what whitefish y'all try to put on me. That was there. I was there 2011 through 10 years straight, guaranteed, before they start the real. I'm not even studying. I went private realm right after I went to the public realm. So I don't got time. I did all kind of coaching. I ain't stun them. I do CPRE and AED all the time. That stuff is, you know, last updated the last month of 2020, whatever year it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good on all that stuff. So like I speak on all the time. I can read whatever they hollering about. I can do it. So education, I'm not going into that realm as much. I'm going to continue to be a coach and I'm going to continue to do this media because I got to make money for my family and I'm not going out here tap dancing. I'm going out here to speak the truth. So we're going to move on. Let's let them finish their sequence out. Now we're gonna move on from them. That's my opinion on it. I completely agree with them putting it towards the family and the parents and signing up. I've been speaking on this thing for the last month and a half since we've been doing the show. This is literally the base of my show. This is literally the base of why I'm doing this show because I have to make sure it's publicly known that there's people standing around me still that think they have control and they ain't reproduced enough kids to have their own grandkids, to have their own people to worry about. So let's continue. Let's move on to the next person to speak. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna be very, hopefully it's like she got people that's in her. Now let's get back to what I said. Who they need to check in with when they making these rules and they cutting these people who 40% now. Check in with the right people now, cause I don't care who up here talking to that was around that time, who how much money they done stole and repossessed. They make sure they check in with the people who was on the ground that was just like me, speaking for their families with higher rank than me probably at the time at 1975. I don't want to flex a little bit too much because we already discussed this, and I forgot to tell y'all that China and U.S. have made an agreement together. That's what they say. Now make sure y'all know who y'all making an agreement. Now don't be tap dancing and doing the incorrect and improper things because we can't whiteface who made the agreement originally. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So they go right back to 1975. Good thing this has resurfaced. Good thing I'm up here talking correctly because they go back to the education and worry about families and who really was over there doing the real work and who's still over here doing the real work. Because they wouldn't have made that agreement if I wouldn't have been speaking on this. And I'm not saying I'm the number one thing because I don't have the biggest voice, but people copy and paste my words over and over and they doing what they supposed to because this still is documented. So I don't care. I dropped it first. I drop it first every day. So it don't really matter how they putting it, how they spinning it. It's what it is. So we good on that. And we still a landmark. We still historically known in Florida, and that's very big. And I definitely got people in Africa everywhere, so it's not no big deal. And I might not can't claim it as tough as I was when I was younger because it is what it is. Y'all know the story. I put that information out there already, and I'm not really stunned how y'all feeling about it. So we're gonna continue to let them spew their little stuff. This was last week, by the way. So we putting it out. We let them get they clout off of it. But we're gonna reiterate what they said. Need to make sure the people who was there in 1975 in the back scene doing all the hard work. Make sure y'all not putting doormat y'all not trying to cover up something that need to be exposed properly in a positive way. Let's continue. More information. 1965. That's even better. Sorry. My dad was born in 1966. My mom was born in 1969. So this was before they was born. So, I'm not bragging, not really bragging. If you're a historian, make sure you go research Florida during this time. Go research the people who came from, you know, the Midwest to the South, whose family was who doing what. And I'm not, from Midwest to the East. Make sure you do your research. And you can really talk about the whole United States, but if you want to tap into my side and what I come from, you will understand who is actually doing the groundwork. And this is government. This is working. This is creating family, having children, whatever you want to deem, whatever it's gonna be. We was making it happen during this time, and we was actually in service, and we was, it's not no fake information that I'm giving you. So make sure y'all continue to understand who got real rank from these times that they keep bringing up, that they got amnesia all of a sudden. And in 2025, they got these people sitting up here in position that they know who's supposed to be in these positions. He probably declined the position, but you get what I'm trying to say. Um, but it's people that's under him, and I'm pretty sure he put them in place, and they tried to take, you know, they tried to really like take the when you get an award for something and then you be like, dang, all these, it's like 100 and 200 people here trying to say that they did it, and then they want my award, like, and they want to take the place of the people that helped me as well. So you know how that go. I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand what went on, and it's not forgotten, and the treason and the disloyal, and the reason why um we have holes and gaps in this system in America is because y'all don't want to appreciate the people who actually did something. So they got all this information. Then y'all got all these tap dancing artists and athletes. They put them in a position, and they don't know what the heck be going on. They out here looking goofy. And I'm not talking about nobody specific. I'm just saying that's how it looks when you sit back and like, dang, do they really know what went on? What their family was actually doing in 1966 or 1975? What was their family doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, check in and do the research. You get what? That's why I laugh. I gotta laugh about it. I got to laugh about it. Like literally during that time frame that they said, and I'm breaking it down. I know too much. Like in my personal own life, to not know who was really doing the stumping around. Like I ain't even capping when I'm talking about this stuff. Like I gotta move on. That's what charter school is. All right. I'll go leave. I'm gonna let her finish because I like how she going at it. But I'm not really against. Okay, when it comes to people who deal with a lot of money, I'm gonna say this for and foremost. It's not. It's like you are so in a la delusional land most of the time. Not where you getting testimonies and stuff, but I'm talking about most of the time you're like this, not paying attention, not even looking down to anybody. What you see is you can take anything you want and do anything you want. World, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm on private jets and living in the mansions. Like, you're not even you like this. Like, you're not that big, but you got all the resources. So like, why are you taking more resources? Why are you thinking you got to stop all these programs just to feel like you're entitled? It's like it's not comprehension. It's not comprehending to me. So what these people are saying, there's so many places and states that are getting underfunded already. Then these are the programs and money that is literally keeping it barely afloat. Which is why you go back to when Barack Obama was voted president and everything was the world's ending, the funding is no. We have this. This man literally made sure he tied stuff up so people could at least just go to school. And then you gotta also deal with these third party people who have seeped their teeth in that didn't have the right energy behind helping, and they had to weed these people out. And now they instead of them weeding them out, they don't want to get caught with their hand in the energy vampire world, whatever they think they call it. They put it in the movie, they put it in shows, they already know what I'm talking about. So they the ones who doing all that spiritual warfare. These people who want to take the resources and the money and debt notes and all that stuff go hand in hand with the agreements and you know what I'm trying to say, contracts, agreements, all that. They understand what I'm trying to say. I don't feel like going into details. If you watch some of the previous shows, you get piece by piece. I said it enough. So if I go out here and start making it seem like y'all call it conspiracy theorists, and I don't want to get go too far into it, but you just go travel the world, find the real people that was here before, after the dinosaurs, that they probably was living with the dinosaurs, how big and tall we still are. So you know how it go. World evolved, different things change. Dinosaurs become this small, and people become this big. So you know how that go. We got lizards and different kind of lizards popping up in Florida already. So you know how it go. I look at it like that, man. I'm gonna let her finish, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna break down the sports, and we're gonna have a good finish our day on a positive note, fun note, and laugh about it. Move on. So let's let her finish her sequence. This is still only half of the whole thing, so it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a 5-part probably instead of a 4-part because it's a lot going on in this testimony, and we still got a lot that happened over the last 3 days, like I mentioned in the beginning. So, and I don't want people to lose focus. I don't want to just give y'all some old drawn out. It's not drawn out. This is what really going on. I'm letting it play. I ain't even skipping over nothing today. I'm letting it play. This is the problem with people who are in the federal part of the government. That's the thing. What you? Why you working? Why you there? Why you? Who checking balancing who? This wouldn't be a testimony if they ain't have. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make. That's why I don't like our governor in Florida. I don't like our senators in Florida. They don't do nothing to help. They just this what happened in hurricane season. Hey, I'm the governor. I'm the senator. We have a state of emergency for a hurricane. That's the only time I hear from these people. I don't hear from them no other time. I don't see them do no work. How do they keep getting reelected? How do they keep they how? Why? Move on. Get out the way. Like I'm they probably be hiding because people like me is more than just me out there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing their job. You know what I'm saying? That's all. And I feel like this lady, like, why you think we talking to you? Why you ain't going to check these people? And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm actually leave it there. I'm gonna let them finish tomorrow. Let her finish her little set. I like what she did because like you pay for $1 million worth of Lego sets. You paying for water. You paying. I ain't minding that. Now going to on the field trips. I don't mind the field trip, but you can't like this. You cannot disenfranchise the people who are going to public schools for private schools. Now that is crazy. Just to go to amusement parks. That's wild. That is wild. That is crazy. That is borderline. I don't know what to say. That's some some new age white supremacists right there, boy. I ain't mad at y'all. Though. Y'all thought about it. Y'all thought about having fun. Now, I can't get mad at that. But that is funny. They call it a voucher. Y'all know what a voucher is? You remember I remember going to the field trips and we get like $20 vouchers for chips and hot dogs. Like they paying for government funds for like amusement park tickets. Like that joke is funny, man. All right, I'm laughing off that. I'm laughing off that. That's the only time I went to amusement park. I didn't even get to go to 8th grade. I had to go to a 90-day. I had to go to a alternative school. I couldn't even go to my 8th grade field trip. We get like one field trip in Florida. And I'm talking about, and it's public school now, mind you, and we still got to pay $100-something for bus fare and whatever the ticket. We didn't get that for free, so you know, I went to my 12th grade when I didn't go to 8th grade. I went to everything 5th grade I went to. So they just celebrate at the end of our like graduation for each grade period. So 5th grade, 8th grade, and 12th grade, you get to have fun in Florida. You get to make the rules a little bit and you know, kick the junk with the teachers and you know, they let you prepare for the next level. So that's what they do in Florida. I don't know about funding a private school with public money. Y'all already gotta pay tuition. Y'all, you know, that tripped me out right there, boy. That tripped me out. They already paying for them books, but they ain't paying for them field trips. That is funny. That's a good scheme, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good way to finesse. But man, let's end it, man. Okay, let's move on to sports. We ain't got too much to talk community. Got basketball practice today for me. That's community, 6 o'clock. You know, out here at Palm Springs Village. You know, I can say it out loud because I'm actually on whatever they call a roster over here in this town. Um, um, you know, I ain't doing too much this. You know, I'm doing my show. You know, I'm participating 2 weeks out, two weeks out the week for basketball. You know, to give back time, and you know, like I said, I check on my child. Then the highest way in Broward. I don't got time to bicker back and forth with petty people. And that's it for community. You know, I still gotta make my rounds calling these mayors in these cities that you know, that I have footprints in. I need to travel a little bit, you know, go visit some of my family members, you know, that I need to really visit and I haven't spoke to in a while. and I got to make that happen. Hopefully, I can get the funds to do that. It's not expensive, but it's still, the way that Florida works. When you got influence and they can't control you, they try to, they got this little hex, the little pocket hex, and it's real weird over here. But I can handle it. I'm old enough and mature enough to handle it. I got to make sure my mom and sisters are protected properly. It's still not how I want it to be. So, like I said, I got to work on that every day. I have to get in the mode of just continuing to shed light, and hopefully I get in a better, even better position than I'm in now. That's all it is. Just working towards the ultimate goal of being in the position that you want. And we're gonna keep working on it. I'm definitely not nowhere near where I want to be. So y'all think this is bad, wait till I really get in the position that I want to be. So shout out to me, shout out to the people who raised me, shout out to the people who still behind me, and my children, and family members or friends who don't know, I don't get to see or speak too often, or people that I've been around, mentor, whatever they want to call themselves, and we're gonna go from there. That's enough of political talk, community talk. We're gonna go into the sports. Sports. We're gonna break down the today's basketball game. I don't know what I could look it up. Probably it's a WNBA game today. You can check that out as well. But we're gonna break down today's game. It's series tied 1-1. OKC blew Indiana out. Tyrese Halliburton did not have a great game. He was missing the action for the first half, the first three quarters really. You got to start off fast. You guys have to actually do a better job of being. They did an okay job being physical, but you can't turn the ball over. They had like close to 10 turnovers in the first quarter. They 7 to 10. I can't remember the number. They had a lot of turnovers in the first quarter, first 5 minutes. You can't be so lackadaisical in the finals. Every possession counts from tip off to the end of the game. I think they have, they did a good job. Miles Turner, like he did a good job of, because the plus and minus do matter when you have that center position. And Chet Holmgren did a great job of starting off. He didn't have a great game first game, but he was attacking. He was attacking offensively. He had a couple block shots. He rebounded well that game. They boxed out very well that game, last second game too. Just be a little bit more physical in the post, like setting your picks, double picks on your wings, hitting your 3-point shots in the corner. Those stuff matter because that's the shortest way to the basket from 3-point. Just get back to the basics. Like don't forget the basics. Like just be physical. You have a little bit more physical present I think on Indiana. That's what won them the game. They missed too many shots, so the bench outscored Indiana by a lot, and Indiana got a great bench. But they started off early, going to the bench. It's people that they didn't expect. They got a lot of playing time during the season. The coach trusted his team and his bench, and his superstar rose to the occasion. Had over 30 points. 7 rebounds, assists. He got his teammates involved. He controlled the tempo the whole game. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander did a great job game 2. And it's kind of said that the superstar on the other end did not. Pascal Siakam did not have a great game 2. Both of them look like they got it. You always reference that movie Space Jam when the superstar got repossessed with the ball. That's how they were looking out there first 3 quarters for both of them. So they need to get back to playing ball, and they were on the road. So hopefully they didn't party too hard for the 3 days off. You can't do what you do in all season as far as going out, talking to people, even saying too much. Like speaking is energy. So make sure you're mindful how you feel, and how your mindset and your focus on the right thing. That's my suggestion for both teams. Now that OKC they're on the road, they in Indiana, and it's just how that mindset to just stay in your zone, stay in your whole high realm of basketball, and play to your highest potential. And that's pretty much it. That's it for the basketball game. That's Wednesday. That's today. I'm talking about Wednesday. That's today at 8:30. I think they start. And what I was going to watch. I started to watch it for this is moving on from basketball, going into entertainment. The BET Awards I did not watch. I should have watched because they was playing it all on TikTok as well. So I should have just cheated and watched. But I see like in the urban and in the hip hop era, or the aroma of soul is back. So I like that energy. I don't want the attention to not to be put on these people that put that music to make people dance and laugh and cry or whatever with the emotion. And we like that. I like that's what's going on. Every year we get our shine in the summer when it comes to like everybody. It was a lot of people, different types of people who, sometimes the show don't have that energy because people don't show up. It's a different time, like but everybody's back outside. Everybody's putting in on the far as entertaining us that are not in the mainstream, or that didn't get they haven't got their just due as entertainers. So I like that they still got a good energy out there with the hip hop world. Make sure the radio people are doing their job properly. I think they do a pretty good job. Make sure you sharing the wealth of getting the notoriety, getting the new artists their flowers, and passing the torch correctly. Make sure we not going out here signing up for the wrong checks, and we're not doing it incorrectly. We don't want to short side a superstar, and we got to stay on point with those types of things and passing the torch, getting people their notoriety. Now, I talked about the young guys, sports, football, and stuff like that. I'm in that, so we mentioned all that stuff. So I don't think I missed anything today. About to turn it in. This is the end of the show. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for participating. Thank y'all for listening. I am your host, Ira Bush, and this is Dynasty, this podcast show. Y'all have a great one. I'll see y'all tomorrow.